Hey y'all. Y'all can barely oh you can see me now. Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia and I'm finally back with another video, y'all. I have been extremely busy. For those of you guys who don't know, I have been dating someone, and I think that it's the real deal. And so I like to invest most of my time in my relationships, right? And so I have not been able to do a stream because somebody else is more important than, you know, a lot of situations. So that's why you guys haven't really seen me. I've been, just kind of enjoying my life, trying to take in the transition with my daughter, which has been interesting. It's been a little rough. It's been good at times, but yesterday was like a rough day. Um, my daughter is she misses her daddy, which makes so much sense because she's been there for forever. But again, there's so many positives about her current situation that she also likes as well. That helps kind of mitigate some of those feelings. And then two, I'm excited because she'll be with dad on the weekends, which frees my weekends up a little bit to go do whatever it is that I set out to do. Um, so that has been my last month, you guys, really is just making sure that my daughter's room, like I went and spent a ton of money to get her room together. Um, I spent money on her school supplies and school clothes. And then her birthday just happened to be the day after she started school. So took her to go, enjoy a little bit of her birthday as well. So that was pretty cool. I know that there's a lot of political action things going on, you guys. I have mentally dropped out of this whole conversation because I do believe that both sides, in my opinion, um, I don't think people are paying attention. I think people are idolizing certain figures, and in my opinion, it's the same thing that's happening on the left as happening on the right. I know that there's a lot of issues that a lot of people think the right will solve, but I do feel like the right is very extreme at this point, just as much as the left is extreme. And it's very odd to me that folks don't know how to be biased or unbiased, should I say, or look at situations from an objective standpoint. They're looking at it with their emotions involved. And I think that's where the lines are blurred a bit. Okay. I'm not saying one candidacy because honestly, I'm not for a handmaid's tale. I do believe that that's the conversation that's being had, and I know that there are a lot of men who support that ideology, and so they're going to make excuses. They're going to deny that these conversations are even being had at the level that they're being had at. And someone asked me once if I really believe that Trump would allow such a. I believe that Trump is not in full control of his situation. I believe that there are other parties involved. I believe that other parties are and have been manipulating situations to get what they want on all sides of the aisle. And I do believe that Trump would allow, to some degree, the level of the red pill rhetoric. I do believe that. We may not see a full on take on, full on handmaid's tale situation as soon as he becomes president, but I do believe that the laws that he may or may not pass allow the doors to be open for extremists to come in and do whatever they want to do. So for me, that argument is irrelevant. There's a lot of arguments that I'm just over. Kamala Harris, I was watching the DNC, kind of, sort of. It's all over my YouTube and stuff like that. But I noticed that Michelle Obama and Barack Obama went to speak on Kamala's behalf. And in my mind, it feels as though Come on, guys. I know that's right. She was like, sorry, this car, because all these cars are driving like they don't got nowhere to go, bro. And it's freaking annoying. Why are you driving like that? What are you doing? I don't understand drivers that, like, they want to prove they're fast after you, like, got in front of them. Like, have fun with that. You're a fucking Jeep, bro. Sorry. Um, and he keeps lane hopping. Like, what are you doing? Are you drunk or something? Sheesh. Stay in one lane. Fuck. Sorry. I don't do lane hoppers and shit. The shit. Because it's like, find a lane and stick to it, damn it. Anywho, I do believe that both sides are crazy right now. The whole situation with Michelle and Barack Obama, I knew that they were going to come out of the woodwork somehow, some way. I believe that Michelle, honestly, she had a much better chance than a Kamala Harris, right? But they still talk stuff about Michelle Obama, saying that she's a man and stuff like that. Honestly, I know that there's a conspiracy through that, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I know that black women are disrespected at the very highest levels, and so us being called men and all this extra shit, like it's hard to not separate racism from the rhetoric that's being had because that's the rhetoric that we were told. That this was like I don't know how to explain it. Black women have been disrespected at such high levels, right? That it's hard to separate when people are being genuine about their. We be calling Michelle a man simply because she is a black woman. There are conspiracies out there, right? You got the videos where you hear Obama calling her Michael, and they went back and found this Michael character and all that jazz. I don't know because I've never met the lady, so I can't actually say one way or the other. But it's I'm not gonna lie, the rhetoric that's being it could go either way. Okay, what are you doing? What a stupid fuck! What an idiot, bro! He's trying to get over instead of getting in his lane. He halfway in my lane and halfway in. Oh, this is why Colorado has such a high. It's a high place for accidents. People drive stupid. They drive like there's nobody else around them driving, which is frustrating. But anywho, I don't know what I think. Like I said, I'm not voting. I've come to the conclusion I don't like either side, right? And the stuff with Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, there was some rhetoric going around about how, I guess Michelle Obama and Barack Obama did not endorse Kamala Harris. That was the false news rhetoric that was going around. It wasn't true. And everybody was like, oh, she had a fake call to the Obamas and all this. And then the Obamas showed up at the DNC in full support of Kamala. I don't know what's true and what's not true. And I think that all sides are doing their best. Like I say, I know that folks think that Trump has it in the bag, but I don't know that that's necessarily the case. And what I mean by that is what it appears to me is that the Democrats are doing everything in their power to win this election, and by any means necessary type stuff, okay? I can guarantee you, I have a feeling Kamala, I know this sounds crazy, but she may just win. And I know for folks, y'all are like, well, how can she win? Everybody's in support of Trump. Y'all know that the Democrats have ways of ensuring that their folks stay in power. And the fact that they came out with Barack Obama, and I'm thinking of that Civil War movie that they were behind, that they produced and all that jazz. I feel like there's going to be a level of a lack of integrity, so to speak, during this next election. If it really goes to the election, like if we actually see the election. And I know because every side is emotionally invested in what they see, that this is the time where they could potentially start a quote unquote civil war if Donald Trump does not make it in office. So I find it very skeptical that I've seen former presidents, Bill Clinton. I forgot all about Bill Clinton. Seeing him speak was like, what? Who brought you back from the dead, man? Like, and I don't even mean to be like that, but it's the truth. Where did he come from? Bill Clinton, I thought was gone. I mean, not really like gone, but I haven't heard from Bill Clinton in so long, man. That's how you know they're desperate. They're desperate. I don't see the right bringing up a bunch of. I don't see the right bringing up a bunch of former presidents, Bush, outside of Trump, because they don't really need that. The migrant situation is crazy, but I want to be very clear, okay? There was a video going around where they're talking about how in Denver, Colorado, or Aurora, Colorado, there were some apartment complexes that were mainly ran by, I guess, the owner had shut down these apartments, okay? I know where they are. We drive past them all the time, especially when I'm picking up my daughter and bringing her home. And so the rhetoric is, and this is where, again, I have to really look at situations for what they are, because the conversation is that they're taken away from black people. Okay? And so let me go into the story. The story is that these apartments were, taken down and deemed like bad, deemed to be bad. What am I trying to say? And then I guess they shut them down and moved all these folks out, right? Because apparently the rumor is that the migrant gangs, the Venezuelan gangs, have been low-key taken over. Okay? Now, with that said, the conversation is also saying that black people, that migrants are affecting black people, and they're taking over black people, everything made for black people, and all this extra stuff, right? A lot of people ask me why I got into accounting, okay? And people really need to understand that what we are seeing today is not necessarily migrants taking over blacks as much as it is the lack of skill set. So you have a lot of black people that are highly upset, right? Fuck, dude. Sorry, because I'm trying to go. You've got a lot of black people that are upset, and they're spewing this rhetoric of the migrants are taking our jobs. The migrants are taking over. In 2020, we knew this was going to happen. This is where a lot of people are not preparing. They're not doing their due diligence, and they're just going about this world all willy-nilly without thinking of anything else outside of their own little fucking bubble, okay? In 2020, I made a decision to stop modeling, okay, and go into, put down my modeling cap and start putting on my intelligence cap, okay? I said, you know what? I'm going to change my career. I went from making maybe $18 an hour, right? My situation, I was making probably 15, 16. I was doing the little app jobs and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a skill set. And I developed a skill set because what we were taught is that your economic value is really going to matter in these times. That you were going to be competing globally. This was not like, it wasn't, I don't know why a lot of people didn't, I don't know. It wasn't, this ain't new news. What's happening right now is not new news. It was meant for people in 2020. That was everybody's fucking time to increase their skill sets, get an education, learn how to create something, learn how to make something, learn how to sell something. That was the fucking time. So now, 4 years later, you're seeing what's going on play out right before your eyes, and there's folks out here that are like, well, I don't know how to live. Like, I'm applying for a job, and they want to set me, but they'll hire these migrants. Well, what folks got to understand is, and this, I'm telling you guys from real life experience, I've met black people who will complain. They're grown-ass folks, grown men and women, right? For example, working at McDonald's. For example, working at the goddamn mall. A job is a job is a job, right? However, at some point, you have to acknowledge that you are too goddamn old for that fucking position. It's a fact. I don't care how many people get upset. I don't care how many like it. Don't like it. You're 30, 40 years old working at fucking McDonald's making fucking fries, and you're complaining about your goddamn pay? Like, what are you actually doing for society? Like, what are you doing? How are you contributing to society? Then you have the audacity as a fry flipper or whatever, a burger flipper, to demand that you get paid as much as somebody in my profession or higher. So it's not that migrants, because I'm a black woman. I lost my job in the last few months, and I gained a whole nother one. Easy. So it's not that migrants are taking over our jobs. No. They're taking over positions that should have only been paid minimum wage, and folks they have an issue with being paid minimum wage. They have an issue with it. They don't want to, because you can't live off a minimum wage, right? So we blame, and this is really how I see it, we blame the government because of inflation, and oh my gosh, right? The government's just so bad. But there's a lot of people that are not struggling in the way that others are. So when you hear folks on TikTok talking about, oh, well, the migrants are coming in, they're taking over our jobs. Well, what kind of jobs are they? These folks are they're not becoming a doctor overnight. Like, that shit's not happening. They're taking over the jobs that should be paying McDonald's minimum wage. They should be. It's not a job. That's not a fucking career. So you want 18 and the migrant says, I'll deal with it for 9. You won't work if they don't pay you 18, but you're not worth $18 an hour. So you have a lot of Americans with these inflated egos thinking they're worth so much more, and they're really not. That's where the black community is failing. It's not the fact that these migrants are coming in, because if you have a skill set, you have a skill set. Can't nobody take that from you. It's the lack of skill sets. Complexes, they take my parking spot. These fuckers be taking my spot, man. Getting on my goddamn nerves. Ugh. Alright. Fuck. And I hate parking next to people, but it's like they see me doing something and they want to do it. It's like, why, bro? Why? It's all good, though. I got here a little late, so it's all fine and dandy. So, yeah, them apartment complexes, the argument is that, oh, it's black people that live there. No, there's black people that, no, they don't. I'm going to be real. I'm going to do a part 2 on this and get back to y'all on this, but there's a lot of false information that's going around, and I don't know what it is, if it's to get the black people to vote one way or to sway them one way or the other. I don't freaking know. But them apartment complexes that were shut down in Aurora, I mean, you got a few blacks, but the majority of those people are Mexicans. They're fucking people from different countries. Your blacks are not hanging out in them apartments unless they really need to. Like, we're not, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of race baiting on both sides. So that's all I gotta say for now. I'm gonna do another part two when I can, y'all. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.